prep my skin. I have used my moisturizer on, my lip balm on, and my eye cream on. So now I'm gonna move on to I'm doing my eye makeup first so that it'll be easier for me to blend in and they won't have any fallouts. I would do either ways. Now I'm like comfortable doing my eye first and then my face. So I'm starting with my MAC paint pot in the shade Laying Low. This is a very, you know, subtle nude kind of shades for Indian skin tone. And the main purpose of this is not to let the you know, eyeshadows crease. So I use it lightly, because if you layer it too much then this itself is gonna crease. So I'm just using a light layer, and still I'm not happy about how my eyelids are concealed. So I'm gonna go over with a lighter concealer so that the colors show really well. So I'm gonna use this L'Oreal concealer in the shade Almond. It's too light for me. I got it for the concealer, but it was too light for me, so actually I'm using it for the lid concealing. The shade I've actually shown in another video. This exactly looks like Tarte Shape Tape. Blend this concealer over my eyelids where we've already used our paint pot. For the extra coverage, I'm using this one. Any powder to set this place. So when you actually apply the eyeshadow, it's gonna glide on easily and it won't tug or pull or get stuck in one place. So always make sure you powder your eyelids. Topaz Obsession in the shade, I don't know, there's no shade names, so I'm gonna use this lighter orange here as my transition color. Actually looks like a stippling eyeshadow brush, like, you know, high-low brush bristles. So this way you're gonna have very less impact of the color. Dip into this dark shade here. Just blend it in between so that it looks nice and blended. I've been doing only for oily skins, so I thought maybe I will do for dry skin. For this, so this base makeup is fully for dry skin people. Now I have actually moisturized my skin. What a dry skin person can actually do is they can actually add oil to their routine, or they can do any kind of facial oils, not coconut oil or anything like that. Some facial oils which are lighter in consistency, you can apply it before applying your makeup. And also you have to search for products which says hydrating or you know, keeps you moisturized, those kind of things, so that those kind of products will be a little heavy for oily skin person, but whereas a dry skin person will need that much of moisture. So you can have those kind of products. So today I'm going to use illuminating product. These products are like dry skin's best friend, whereas these are like enemies for oily skin. So I really be very careful before applying these. So I'm gonna color correct. So for that I'm using my Revolution concealer in the shade orange, only on the inner corners and around my mouth. MAC Prolong Wear in NC45. Concealer is your preference because I don't have a hydrating concealer with me. I would want all my concealer to be full coverage and lightweight. So now that I've concealed, I'm gonna use a coverage foundation. I don't use it much because it makes me a little oily, but it's a really good foundation. It's in the shade Warm Caramel. Also, the shade was not really good match, so I don't use it very often. It's a bit oily. Sorry, it's like, it has that illuminating finish where you'll get, it won't be tight, and you know, it won't give you that kind of a look where it's dry and your face won't look like a desert. So see, the foundation shade doesn't match properly, but anyways, I'm gonna blend it in. I'm using my foundation brush. I'm pushing the product in. Do you see that shine on the face? That's what this foundation gives you. And I'm gonna go over on top of this with my sponge to take away any excessive product. So now for my concealer, I'm gonna use my you can use any concealer which is it's a bit lighter concealer than your skin tone. I'm using the shade Caramel from Maybelline Age Rewind. I'm just applying it on the tip of my nose and this. Just place it wherever. You know, if you're really not confident of to blend these concealer in a brush, the best tool is to go with your sponge, because you can easily blend it with your sponge on the exact spot, since you will not be dragging, whereas a brush, you know, it might be a little difficult. Powdering your face, dry skin is like powder is a no-no. So what you can do here is you can take your loose powder and just run around where you. What I know a dry skin person can do is what I'm trying to explain here. Like, you can basically go wherever you applied your concealer. I use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Bronzer, I'm using my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Deep 4. Which has a little bit of shimmer kind of blush. It's an Ofra blush in the shade Bronze. This is for an oily skin. I wouldn't use this because shimmers might actually, you know, create a problem. So I'm gonna use it for a dry skin. See, actually when you apply a blush, it actually takes away a little bit of that oiliness, but it's gonna set in and sink very soon. This is a very beautiful skin tone kind of blush. which we used on the high points, like I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take a tad bit. I'm gonna use this much and just gonna blend it with my fingers here and just gonna apply it on my high points. Powder sparkle, face sparkle, and brush it on your skin. You can wear a lot of highlighter skin, then you should be a little bit, you know, careful with what you're applying because it's gonna eyebrows in the shade 7. Just gonna do it.
For you who saw me before I knew who I'd be. What I have around me means nothing to me if I can't share it with you. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door, waiting the chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so.
So yeah, brows done and everything is done. The lower lashes is left. I'm gonna do my setting spray. For a dry skin, MAC Fix Plus, the regular version, is a great setting spray because it is gonna bring in a little bit of oiliness. But I usually use it for my oily skin too because I like it how it blends the whole makeup. Like whatever you've done, it's gonna blend it into your skin and it's gonna look like skin. Urban Cafe.
When there's no hope hiding, no chance concealing what deep down I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me, for who I can't go back to.
It's always better to apply a darker lip liner before you go for a neutral shade. So I'm gonna use the shade called Confused from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a liquid lipstick. It has a neutral kind of brownish toned, yellow brown kind of lipstick, but it's really good for dark skin. Whole look really goes well with the eyes and everything. So yeah, that's the finished look. I really love how this turned because the brown with the eyes and the lips go really well together. For the skin, this might look a little bit too heavy or too oily for an oily skin person. This base makeup is only for a dry skin person. Please subscribe to my channel and don't be the 75% of the viewers who's not subscribed to the channel and still watching the channel. Hope you all enjoy the video. Meet you in another one. Bye guys.